You're live. There's my cat right there. My puppy right there. And she's over there napping. She's doing a kitty power nap. She'll be awake in a little bit more. Want some treats, maybe want to play a little bit. Want some attention. Um, Using to put thoughts down there because I'm just gonna throw some thoughts out there. You know, um, if, if you ever fall upon my videos, you'll look through them and you'll see I give my thoughts on a lot of things. You know, you know, a crazy old man with scraggly long hair and a scruffy beard. You know, what you see is what you get in the background. No blue screen, you know, um, no technical equipment, big old studio setup. I don't have none of that. You know, it'd probably be considered old school on YouTube, but I'm just an old school kind of guy though. Um, I'm watching all this crap going on in the House, the Senate, in politics in general, and it's kind of weird that a lot of these things I've always been when I was back in the '70s, man. When I was a teenager, we didn't have a big following of people that believed in UFOs, okay, or Bigfoot, or uh, the New Age movement was just starting to grow a little bit from Eastern spirituality concepts. Um, Basically, America was straight up, you know, pretty much a Christian country. I mean, they had the breaking down of the Christian values in the '60s. You know, more people were going into individualism and self gratification, and you know, I grew up in that era. I grew up in the '60s, man. I was from 1959 to like 1972. I was or 71, say 12 years old, 11, 12 years old when I started hitting puberty. For that decade, I was a kid. You know, everybody in the neighborhood had long hair. My dad was a veteran. He's an Air Force veteran. Yeah, Air Force was a lot tougher back in the '60s and the '50s. They were just breaking off from the Army, and they still had that type of boot camp. So my dad gave me a buzz cut. You know, I grew up with a high and tight. You know, Marine Corps cut straight up, man. We got a buzz cut. I mean, it was popular. People were wearing them. Believe me, they were wearing them back then. It was like the remnants of the '50s. You know, and it was melding with the culture of the '60s. And if you look back in rock and roll, you'll see a dichotomy. Like you had the preps and the greasers and the mods and the rockers in England, and those are the only two. You know, those that was like a melding of two different generations coming together. You know, the greasers and the preps here in the United States. The preps are the guys that wore the short buzz haircuts, and they were jocks, and they were they were the tough guys. I mean, they were the ones that you would that ideology coming out of World War II was seen as being successful. Then you had the greasers, man. The guys that wore their hair long and grease their hair back, putting a big DA. My dad wore a duck ass, man. DA, man. They wore their hair would be about shoulder length, be about right here, and they would grease it back into a ducktail. So it looked like a ducktail. Those are the greasers, man. Squeaky Lenny and Squeaky from Laverne and Shirley. If you want to go get some retro shit, retro old TV shows, you know, Rebel Without a Cause, uh, The Wild Bunch. You know, that was a depiction of the greasers, and those were the ones that were coming up into the '60s. The greasers kind of became the hippies, and the preppies stayed preppies. You know, they were the conservatives, and then that's when the liberal conservative stuff started coming up really hard. It was always around, but it was like he came up there really hard in the '60s, man. All these crazy liberals, same as say crazy liberals, but that was when they sprinkled in the communist ideologies through all that stuff. They started liberalizing conservatism, you know, and I really don't. That's a sociological construct because like always having two opposing sides to bump into each other instead of doing this, you know, you can have opposing viewpoints, okay, but to label that viewpoint a conservative or a liberal, that's left right paradigm, and that's a proven sociological construct, okay. I'm a middle of the road liberal, man. I have conservative leanings and I have liberal leanings. I was liberal in my teens and 20s and 30s, man. In my 20s, I did something totally liberal. I married a black woman coming out of the 60s. Come on, man. You know, at 65 years old, I can take the historical documentation from the time I was born until now, and I can show you the upsides of some of the stuff that happened and the downsides. The upside is the technology, the real technology. I'm not talking about this fake ass science they got out now, where the one who pays the most money in grants gets their way in the scientific community. And that, if you don't think that's the way it works, then you're totally indoctrinated. You know, I can go into so many areas where stuff has gone and society's suffering the consequences of it now. The family structure, the community structure, you know, the family structure has been totally destroyed. The community structure has either been destroyed or perverted. Okay, okay, and my experiences growing up is I'm in the shift from Jim Crow to the modern era as far as racial relations are concerned between black and white, or all races in America. Actually, and Jim Crow didn't just affect the white people, man. It affected Chinese people. It affected it affected Hispanic people. Okay, they had it segregated like like bottles on a shelf, man. And when they want to use a bottle, they pull it down, and they use that bottle and they put it back on the shelf, and then they go to the other bottle, pull it down, look at it, use it, and put it back on the shelf. Meanwhile, those bottles aren't mixing. You know, they're not mixing. Maybe they should. No, no, no. Humanity is not like an ingredient in it. Well, guess you can call it an ingredient in a soup. Okay, if you don't put the ingredients in there, you'll never get the soup. If I keep everything that I need to make a homemade pot of soup from scratch up on my shelf, and I do make soup myself, I do, man. I'm a very decent cook. I've never had any complaints. Most people say most of my cooking tastes good. If they're being nice, I don't know. It don't taste good to me. And I know when something tastes bad too, but I force myself to eat it so I don't make that mistake again. You know. Anyway, the '60s going into the '70s, going into the '80s, the racial relations started to relax. You know, people started getting along. How about the hippie? That was the good point of the hippie generation, man. When you were a hippie, you didn't care who the hell you were with, as long as there was a party and you had some fun and you listened to some music. You know, I mean, hippies worked. You were hippies that had jobs, man. I mean, they didn't all live on the street. Or else you wouldn't have hippies going to concerts because they wouldn't be able to afford it. you know, even though concert tickets are like a buck, maybe they bought about the price of a damn about the price of a movie ticket nowadays. Not even less than that, man. I paid when I went to see a general. I went to see even a seated concert. I was paying $15. The closer I got to the stage, the more they paid for the tickets. Okay, and usually you maxed out around 15 or $20 for front row. Backstage passes they cost a little bit more, and they did sell backstage passes. They sold limited backstage passes. So wasn't like now where these guys are like they think they're hot shit and they're really lukewarm diarrhea. you know. Um the race relations broke down in the '60s and '70s, man. I mean, the race relations got better in the '60s and the '70s, man. I mean, you had, I mean, the laws that were put into place, and you know, even though Johnson was a fucking racist piece of shit, what he put into place was meant to be a temporary fix. Okay, okay. They just ran with that ball, man. The racists in our country just ran with that ball and just kept that like simmering in the background a little bit. You know, throw them Q and gear ingredients, extended a little bit until it became a sociological norm for poor people. I say poor people, man, because there's a lot of white girls on welfare too, man. A lot of Hispanic women. The majority of them are what we would call minorities. I don't think any human being is a minority, man. They're just a different skin color than me and a different culture than me. But they're talking about the physical numbers. So that's what I'm saying. When I married a black woman, I'm a very liberal person, man. That was a liberal thing to do. I had my dad call me up. How's your N-word night wife? And he used the hard R, man. I said, Dad, she's sleeping right here. You want to talk to her? Like you're gonna talk to her, man. You want to insult my wife? You're gonna get a mouthful. You're gonna get an earful from her, man, and I'll allow it to happen. I won't stop her, man. And then I'll take the phone and I'll give you an earful. You know, even at my dad's funeral, I found out who the most prejudiced person in my family was. My immediate family, my mom, man. She can't get off the hard R N word, man. I mean, she was using it in front of me, talking to one of my cousins or my aunt or my uncle or something. I don't remember. I was at a funeral. I just remember this part of it. She was at work, and I looked at her and said, "Mom, you got mixed kids. You got mixed grandkids, man. Have some respect for your grandkids." She don't even talk to my grandkids, man. She don't. She don't. You know, my dad was pretty liberal in his thinking too, man. And he was a conservative Democrat. How can it? Because it's not about an ideology, man. You can hold both liberal and conservative views. Okay, you can. I mean, it's not impossible. you know, it's only impossible if you want it to be impossible. And that's what I see. A lot of people want it to be impossible. This is their identity. I'm a liberal. I'm a conservative. I'm a liberal. I'm a libertarian. I'm a label on a soup fucking can. That's what you're telling me. You're a label on a fucking soup can. You're an Andy Warhol friend. I mean, there's a lot of things my generation can teach Generation Z, man. How about self-control, constraint, you know, self-integrity, you know, and those things come from having a freaking moral compass, man. Thinking about yourself all day long isn't taking care of yourself, man. That's actually a detriment to your living lifestyle, man. If that's all you think about is what your identity is, what the color of your skin is, what your sexual orientation is. If that becomes your identity, then you're a shallow person, man. There's no depth to your personality, and that usually comes with a long, hard, narcissistic streak. My dad used to tell me the world don't revolve around you, son. You better get used to that. Get used to it. Get used to it. Now the parents are saying, "Oh, the world revolves around you." Yeah, okay. Well, the world revolves around you is out in the street, burning shit down. And that's a fact, man. Most of the people that are out there doing this shit, they're egged on by lunatics that are my age, man. That think they can't get beyond their identity, man. That's exactly what they build their life on, man. You know, there's no room for any other constructive thought. There's a movie out there called uh, it was Jackie Chan and Jet Li was in it. Anyway, the guy wanted to learn kung fu, and that's the guy's always running his mouth, running his mouth, running his mouth, running his mouth. He's- Jackie Chan has him a cup, he's pouring him a cup of tea, and the kid's running his mouth, and he keeps pouring the tea, keeps pouring the tea, and all of a sudden the hot water spills, and he drops there. He goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You're like that cup. You're so full, I can't fill you up. You have to empty the cup." You can't learn anymore because you think you know everything, and that's this generation's blind spot. Okay, that's why they don't want you to talk to Gen X, Gen Z. I mean Gen X and Boomers, man. You know all this satellite parenting that would happen in the '80s and '90s, man. I don't want my kid to break out. Oh, we gotta do. We gotta make yourself safe. You know what? If a kid's gonna do something, a kid's gonna do something, man. You can make the world as safe as you want, but the kid's gonna find a way to hurt himself, man. That's what being a kid's all about. You fall down and scrape your knee, you go home and cry. Your mom put some medicine on it, put the band-aid on it, and send you back out to play again, man. And Gen X got this joke about rub some dirt on it. The, the boomer parents weren't that dumb. Come on, man. You know, but my parents told. By the time I was 4 years old, I was crossing major intersections, crossing major streets in Chicago, man. I'll give you the street, 102nd and Halsted, man. I was crossing that street, man. My mom and dad would take me out to the store. The store was on the other side of the street. Mom and dad take me to the store. They teach me how to cross the street. They even let me do it a couple of times while they were there. They would teach me how to do it. They stood there and physically taught me how to do it. And once they found out, once they saw I was good enough to get across the street, and I was cautious enough not to run out there when the cars were running, I was free to do it, man. They told me not, you only go here unless we tell you to, unless you want to go get it. Back then, they can give a kid a note and you can go buy cigarettes for your parents. You couldn't buy alcohol, but you get the cigarettes. Some places they you buy alcohol, but the cigarettes were the big thing for me. My mom would send me out to get a pack of smokes, man. Shit, sometimes she'd send me to the corner bar and go in and get them out of the machine. What about y'all? No, we did. We had communities back then, man. There were no pedos in our community. If they were, they had the shit kicked out of them real fucking quick. They'd be crucified, man. And then the neighborhood would hand them over to the cops, and the cops would look and shake their head. Good job. Boom, take them to jail. Literally. Literally. You had neighborhoods that would beat the shit out of somebody and hand them over to a cop. And as long as the cop who worked in the neighborhood, who knew the people in the neighborhood, because he worked in the neighborhood, he was never transferred or rotated out of the neighborhood. He was the neighborhood cop who knew all the, I mean, who know, I mean, you walk by, hey, George, how you doing, officer? Da, 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 da. You know, and sometimes it's a personal basis. How you doing, George? Hey, how you doing, Pete? How's work going today? It's hot out the hell out of here. I don't want to be in a squad car. And they'd have a laugh. Maybe even after work they go have a beer in the fucking corner bar. Seriously, man, that's the way my life was growing up, man. You had neighborhood. You didn't have a neighborhood watch. The neighborhood was the fucking watch. You didn't have people roaming. They didn't have to because all the neighbors would look out for each other, man. If we didn't, we'd have the neighborhood would fall into chaos. They broke that stuff up in the 60s and 70s, man. The hippie movement wasn't bad when it started. It was basically a protest against any kind of warfare. Or no, I think they started out in ecology. I'm not sure. I think they started out as an ecological, because back then pollution was bad, man. I mean, you had people throwing trash driving down the highway. You got piles of trash on the side of the road. You know, it was bad back then. I mean, that's where the EPA came from, which is bullshit now. He came out of the hippie movement. Why do you think they call hippies tree huggers, man? They were stopping deforestation. They were going, they were offering other alternatives to paper like hemp. Because back in the day, a rope was made out of hemp. We didn't have the synthetics we had now. We had them, but they weren't as prevalent as they are now. All rope was made out of fucking hemp, man. Hemp is fucking industrial marijuana, man. It's the male plant. The female plant's got all the goodies in it. The male plant is goodies in it too, but it's more for the industrial side. plastics, clothing, other things. Even the male female plant you can use for plastics and clothing. You use a stalk. I mean that was offered as an alternative, man. They would have put the paper industry out of business. They would have put the freaking the plastics industry out of business. It would have put the garment industry. Well, it would have added to the garment industry. Okay, because hemp clothing is pretty comfortable, man. I mean, gotta admit it. You know, I mean, the more research you did on industrial hemp, the more paper industry was a big one, man. You can grow 3 crops of hemp, industrial hemp, in a year and not cut down one fucking tree, and that would handle the paper industry or most of it. It would handle 90% of the paper industry. You'd still have trees and you know cut down for wood and all that stuff. You'd still have paper, wood paper. They did what they did in Egypt with papyrus, man. Papyrus is a reed, man. They made paper out of it, just like hemp and bamboo. They made paper out of bamboo too. What do you think? You have rolling papers called big bamboo. They're made out of bamboo paper. They burn really good too. Gen Z, man, you guys are as big as us, man. Almost. From what I understand, our numbers are quite similar. We're pretty big generations, man. Back in my day, you didn't have overweight kids, man. You didn't have overweight kids. Everybody wanted to be physically in shape. Everyone wanted to look good. You know, everyone wanted to be in shape. Nobody, you have people smoked and all that stuff, but we were in better shape back then, man. You never saw any fat kids growing up. When I was growing up, we had maybe one or two fatties in the neighborhood. Yeah, I'm using the word fucking fatty, man. Fuck that shit. Oh, you're offending me. Well, lose some weight, dude. Dude, lose some weight, girlie. It's not good health wise for you. It's not good at all. Why do you think Gen X looks so good, man, dude? They look young for their age. And if you saw me in my 40s, man, I looked like I was in my 30s, man. Seriously, I had a baby face, I had a big, good build. I mean, if I knew how to do pop pictures up, I'd pop pictures up of me. And me, even in my 40s when I was homeless, I looked like I was in my fucking 30s. Literally, man. Like I was 40, 42. I looked like I was in my early 30s, mid 30s. You know, now you got kids that are 25 years old and they look like they're 60. Some of them. No, a lot of them look like kids because they're still fucking at home being kids, man. Your parents never kicked you out of the nest. I got kicked out of the nest at 18, man. 19. I had a choice, military or college. Which one you want to do, son? You're not staying here. The third option is you're going to be fucking homeless because you're 19, man. Can't keep you here no more, man. You got to go out and live your life. At 19 years old, I was walking the streets of fucking Tokyo, man. Half you guys don't even. Half you guys haven't even been off the college campus at 19. You ain't even probably even been out of your state. If you even got out of your city or your neighborhood. Shit, when I was growing up, I was hitting everybody. I was hitting everybody's neighborhood within a 10-mile radius of my house, maybe 15, because I was on my bike. I had a cheap ass Coco Sports 10 speed when everyone else had a Schwinn. And my dad was a cheap ass. I knew he had money, man. When he in the 70s when he got sober, man, he started changing his fucking life over, man. Financially, went through the roof. I don't mean he was super rich, but he was well off. He's upper middle class, easy, easy. You know, when he's parking his RV in our big ass yard, you know, at what 45 or 50 years old, I'd say he's pretty well off. You know, when you can take a month off work and go trace the trail of tears to find our Indian heritage, yeah, I'd say he's pretty well off. You know. Anyway, and that was my inspiration, even though I didn't know it. Getting back to my point, you got all the technology at your fingertips, but you don't have the wisdom to use it properly. It's a tool. It's not your identity. It's not your life. Okay. If you're a younger person watching this stuff, get off the computer and go out and ride a bike with your friends, man. Leave your cell phone at home, or even if you take it with you, don't go somewhere and sit with your friends and freaking text each other when you're sitting right next to fucking each other, you know, or you got that leash, so you got that cell phone so far up your ass it's coming out your mouth. You're not even looking around to where I watch it go on when I go outside, man. You don't think I should go outside, man? I don't just sit here and look at the fucking computer all day long. Well, I do, but I do go outside. I'm disabled. It's hard for me to get around anywhere anymore. I'm walking on my arms pretty much. You know, lately I haven't been able to. I usually, a few years back, man, I'd be rolling around outside just talking to my neighbors in the other buildings and shit. You know, I live in Santa Monica's ghetto, man. This is Santa Monica's ghetto, low income housing. You know, and I say that seriously. Seriously, every city has a ghetto. Why? I don't know. Well, I do know, but you know, you got greedy fuckers that own buildings that just want to raise the rent. That's why you have rental laws, and now they're circumventing the rental laws, and they're raising the rent through the fucking roof. That's what's creating the homeless. Crony capitalism, man. Crony real estateism. You know, we're crony real estaters, man. You don't think the fuckers that own these big ass corporations get together and say, look, how can we control the market over here? They might do some infighting up there, but basically there's a cabal of people that are running those whole real estate industry right now. And they're creating a sociological blight. I knew that when I was out there in the 90s, man. Hey, now I understand how it must have been like at the turn of the last century, man. You know, you got a bunch of people on horses and carriages, and you got a car rolling by. Oh, this damn technology. Yeah, I'm an old fart. I don't give a fuck. I'm proud of it. I'm proud I lived to this age, man. 65, shit. As much shit as I put my body through, and as much shit as I've been through in my life, I'm surprised I'm even alive. I got a lot of experience to draw upon to make my life better today. There's a lot of stuff in my life that I got on hold right now. My book, my animation. You know, I got stuff written. I got 200 pages of a book written. I just hit a wall, and I haven't been able to break through that wall yet. I mean, I know where I want to go with it, and I know how epic I want to make it. And yes, I'm following the hero's journey by Joseph Campbell. I'm following that template with a little Buffy the Vampire Slayer mixed in, a little horror mixed into the fantasy. You know, that's the way I'm writing my book. High fantasy horror. Anyway, the reason it's put on hold is because I got my body got put on hold. I lost my leg, man. It just totally threw me for a loop, man. It's like running for a touchdown and getting fucking ankle swiped, which is illegal, but I believe it's illegal in football to ankle swipe someone. I think you got to grab them and take them down, or pull them down with your hands, or tackle them in the legs with your body. You can't just kick someone's legs out from under them. I don't think that's legal anyway. Whenever I blank out like this, my head just keeps running. See, I got the train of thought, but sometimes it gets put on a switch. It goes in another direction. I got to bring it back on the same track. The track I'm trying to get on is that my eventual point is that Gen Z needs to start listening to the older heads, man. We didn't get this age by being stupid. Okay? Well, everything you see around you, that computer you're holding in your hand, is a boomer creation. And the generation before me. Okay? The technology you got in your hand, Tesla. Okay? Nikola Tesla. That's 2 generations back from me. And we just built on that. You can't build a society unless you go back and build on the experience of your elders. Once you break that generational link, your generation can be indoctrinated, kicked in the balls, have your throats ripped out. I mean, not sometimes even physically, but mentally, emotionally. Satellite parenting, that was the worst thing that ever happened, man. You know, the the poo pooing on corporal punishment. I got my ass whooped if I did something wrong. I'm not saying that my dad came in every time I did something wrong. My dad came in with the belt. We had degrees of punishment, man. Hey, you got your timeout, then you got your timeout in your room, then you got your timeout in your room for a couple of days. When I got grounded, man, I was grounded for weeks at a time, man, a week or two at a time, man, until I realized what I had done wrong. The kids are stubborn, man. They don't want to. They don't want to admit they're wrong most of the time. Mom and dad can't. Mom and dad are always wrong. I want to do what I want. No, man, you can't let a kid do what he wants. My parents weren't satellite parents, man, either. Yeah, like I told you, I was running across the street at 4 or 5 years old. I was running across a busy fucking street. Well, not running, but I knew how to use the lights. I knew when the light turned red, you could walk across the street. And most of the time in my neighborhood, if there was an adult walking across the street and they saw a kid walking across the street, they probably knew you and say, "Okay, come on, Charles, we're going to take you to the store. And I'm gonna make sure you get back to your mom because they know why they sent me out. It was a neighborhood thing. It was a community thing. Why do you think they don't want you to form communities in your neighborhoods, man? Oh, we're gonna HOA. No, HOA is a fucking totalitarian bunch of idiots that think they run things, man. And don't let me move into an HOA neighborhood with a house. I will sue them until they're fucking out of money and disband. Seriously, man, you're not gonna tell me unless my house is a blight and I don't take care of my yard and I don't paint my house. If I want to paint an American flag on my house, I'm gonna paint an American flag. My dad and my grandpa had fucking a flagpole in their fucking yard, man. My grandpa flew the American flag until the day he died in his yard, man. He'd go out there and take it down, put it back up every morning, man, like clockwork. Now I'm not gonna let no neighborhood watch or neighborhood or what homeowners association tell me I can't do it, man, because somebody's offended by the flag. Fuck you, man. I'm offended. You're offended, you dickhead. I'm offended for you because you should be offended even pushing something like that on somebody, man. Instead of hating the flag, why don't you go have a barbecue with the guy? You might find a nice person. That's what we're missing right now. We're missing community, man. Oh, I'm on. Well, no, you're not in an online community, dude. I mean, if you're in a chat room or you're in a chat watching a video and you're just totally fucking rude, in real life you'd have been punched in the face, like Mike Tyson said. Man, social media is social media is taking away the fact that you say something to somebody, you might get punched in the face. And I'm not advocating for violence, but sometimes some people need to be slapped in the head, man. You know, there's some of the things I see going on out there, man, and some of the things I see going on in these chat rooms. And you ask anybody who's in any of the chat rooms, I'm a vicious motherfucker, man. I'll come out and fucking rip you apart, man. I will. I'll make fun of your family. I'll make fun of your fucking. I'll just make fun of you in general, man. Oh, take every little idiosyncrasy you're throwing out in the chat room, and I'll throw it right back in your face, and I'll shove it up your butt until it comes out your mouth. I don't care, man. Because in real life, if you said something like that, you would get punched in the face. Some of the stuff I heard said about me, man. There's your mom right there. Yeah, boom. Said something about my mom. I don't care if I don't like my mom. I don't care if she gave me life. Boom. When people insult me, I just tell them, man, I've been called worse things by better people, man. So that's a straight up argument right there. I've been called worse things by better people. Straight up, man. Straight the fuck up, man. That's why this generation is so soft, man. That's why most of you are overweight. Most of you are soft. Most of you don't even accept yourself to the point to where you can't live without piercing your natural hair color. Tattoos, I can see, man. I'm like I said, I'm a liberal type guy. I don't have any, but I think they're artwork, man. I'm an artist, man. I think they're artwork. Some of these tattoos are very beautiful pieces of work on skin, man. And that must be the hardest way to paint. You got someone jumping around and you're trying to freaking put some ink in their skin. I can go back in time and tell you how the establishment accomplished this. And it's the same fucking establishment we fought in the 60s that's doing this shit right now. It's the same people, man, the same ideologies, man, the same school of thought. First off, they took physical fitness out of your schools, high school and grammar school. And the way they did that is they laxed up on the fact that physical fitness programs are there to make you physically fit, man. Body, mind, and spirit, man. That's the way your body's built. It's built on body, mind, and spirit. That's why atheists crack me up, man. They do, man. Because even Carl Jung acknowledged the spiritual part of the psyche. Read Carl Jung's work, man. That's why he broke off with Freud, because Freud was turning into a fucking sexual pervert on cocaine. That's a historical fact, man. That's why he broke apart. It was over. Freud became too focused on a sexual. He was a sex addict. He was a sex addict. He's the one that started this shit about female. He's the one that kept the female hysteria shit going into the 60s or into the 30s or into the 40s and 50s. She's got hysteria. No, females are more emotional than men, man. Their 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 thinking is centered around emotions and nurturing. Our our thinking is centered around logic and reason. That's why you need a man and a woman together, because you get the emotional input into logic and reason, and then you got the logic and reason input into the emotions. Without both, they don't. Your psyche's busted. You know, you can't think totally logically, and you can't think totally emotionally. Look at both rationales, man. Look at the effects they are have on a person. Yeah, I got. Look at the effects they have on a person. I got tobacco stains on my hand. Like my brother's a brainiac, man. The guy's got a freaking he's got a fucking photographic memory, and he retained that photographic memory even after he fractured his occipital lobe. Took a year off college, and he still was a 4.0 plus student. He just remembers everything he reads, word for word. But I guarantee you, his emotional maturity is not there. He's basing things. From what I understand, it would be considered like that sitcom. What is it? Young Sheldon. He's supposed to be a super genius, supra genius. That's the word, not super genius. Supra genius. I mean, he didn't have any emotional. He didn't have any attachment to emotion. He was literally a Mr. Spock. You know, Mr. Spock had emotions, but they were purely uh, animalistic. The pon farr, when the character of Spock had what they call a pon farr. And once every 7 years, they just let their emotions take them over, and they become totally animalistic monsters until they mate. Once they mate, boom, they're back in their logical thought processes. Yeah, I always refer back to literature, man, because literature reflects society. Movies, all that's supposed to reflect society. Whether it's in a fantasy setting like Lord of the Rings, or whether you got a docudrama going on, it reflects society. You know, I go back to movies all the time because it's a reflection of society, man. You know, I forget the analogy I made earlier because I'm kind of high right now, but I know it's there, man. I mean, that's going back to my original point. It, Gen Z needs to start listening to the boomers and Xers, man. Fuck the millennials, man. We dropped the ball with them guys. We dropped the ball with them, man. You know, and the millennials, you get the MTV generation. Everybody forgets that generation where people started getting indoctrinated by television. And television is an indoctrination tool. I don't care how you want to look at it. I haven't watched television in over 30 years. Since I became homeless in '96, I watched stuff on YouTube. Yes. I watched videos. Yes. But as far as the news and all that, no, I don't watch that shit. I didn't even watch it when I was growing up. You know, that's. I mean, I did watch it when I was growing up, but once I hit my 20s and 30s and all that, once I became homeless, that was totally cut out of my life for obvious reasons. You know, I still sat down and watched the boob tube, but when the news came on, usually it was just tuning out. Unless it was a movie on, I'd tune it out. It was just background noise, so my head would be running. Even when I'm watching videos here, man, I'll watch a video and I'll zone out in thought. Now, whoa, what did I miss? I have to go back and rewind to watch it again. But Gen Z, you guys need to really start listening to us, man. We want the best for our society, man. I want the best for my species. I'm going to get secular with it. I want the best for my species, man. I want my species to grow and be prosperous, man. I'm just not talking about the country. I'm talking about the species in general, humanity, man. No, I'm not a globalist. I believe in country. I believe in borders. I believe in all that crap. That's where the fun of life comes in, man. That's where the spice of life comes in. You bring another culture in, man. You learn that culture and you have fun. Most of the time in America, what happens is our cultures become melded, and we pretty much drop away all the bad stuff in the culture sometimes, and we embrace the good. That's what America's built on, man. Built on more than Europe, more than Asia. And yes, they do have cultural differences in Asia. The Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, the Southeast Asians. And then you go into the Indian continent, subcontinent. There's all different cultures all throughout the Asian section of the world. They don't mix over there, man. They don't. I'm not saying that they don't, but in general, they don't mix. They don't strive to mix with each other because there's too many cultural similarities between them. They don't need to mix. The Asian culture is built on family, hard work, ethics. You know, a structured thinking process. You go over there and try to beat up an old lady in China, I guarantee you're gonna have about 20 fucking people on your ass beating the crap out of you. Same in Japan, man. You'd have the yakuza on your ass. You start beating up old people in Japan. That's what happened to Johnny Somali, man. People were getting tired of it. The yakuza got wind of it, and he got his ass whooped once on the street by street people, man. That was the yakuza, I guarantee it, man. Then yakuza said, "No, this guy ain't listening." You know, they don't work with the police. They're like they're side by side with the police, man. And the police try to take them down, and they oppose the police. But as far as the society in Japan is concerned, they will work in tandem to take someone out of their society. Believe me, they will. So it happened to Johnny Somali, man. Same in Israel, man. He went over to Israel and he's fucking talking shit to a fucking Israeli girl, and she ain't having it. He's lucky she didn't beat the shit out of him, man, because those women over there are fucking tough, man. They go through military training, you know, and they have to meet some of the standards that men meet, man, mentally and physically, man. Those women over there are fucking strong, man. Same with Japanese women. You don't think they're strong? Man, you get a Japanese girl pissed off, and you're gonna get an earful, man. You're gonna get an earful, man. Believe me, you will. It takes a lot to piss them off, though. Going back to American culture, man. I'm German, Irish, Swedish, and Native American. Okay, most of my makeup is Caucasian, German, Irish, and Swedish. Okay, Native Americans another strain, a substrain of that of human DNA. And yes, your race can be um determined by your DNA. If your race can be determined by your DNA, what the fuck is that ancestor shit for, man? They can determine my DNA to the Irish, to the German, to the Swedish, to the Native American, both tribes. Both tribes. Chickasaw and Cherokee. I'm proud of my white heritage, man. It's half Celtic and half Viking, man. Straight up. You don't think Swedes got Viking in them, man? You're fucking crazy, man. The Vikings ruled that area, even Sweden. You don't think Celtics are German? The Celtic trade empire stretched from fucking Britain all the way almost to all the way across Central Europe, most of the way, almost to the Eastern Europe, man, and Central Europe, man. It was a big trade, a tribal trade route. It was a Celtic trade empire, man. They don't want to talk about it because it was lasted for a long fucking time, and it was pretty powerful, man. You know those fantasy things about the barbarian horde? Where do you think that came from, man? The Visigoths, the Goths, the Gauls, the Germanics, the Picts, the Celts. I mean, the Picts and the Scots. Those are the British Isles. I think there's another one in the British Isles. The Anglos, the Saxons, they were all part of that trade empire, man. And yeah, those tribes warred against each other. That's where you get the barbarian aspect of it. They were a loose empire, man. They don't want to mention it because it was so powerful that Alexander the Great made treaties with these guys and said, "Okay, well, I'm not going to go too far north. I'm just going to go east." And look at his empire. It went east and south. It didn't go north. It didn't go too far north. He made treaties with these tribes, going all the way, just like the Native Americans had treaties here. Made treaties with these tribes. Otherwise, if he'd went up against them, he would have had a barbarian. He would have had like Caesar and Vercingetorix. When the Roman Empire finally destroyed the Celtic trade empire. I think it was the Battle of Elise. I mean, Caesar had Vercingetorix trapped in the city, so he built a wall around the city to starve them out. He laid siege to the city. They weren't getting out. But what happened was Vercingetorix had a person go out before they completed the wall, and Caesar got wind of it, and he knew there was a horde of about 250,000 tribes banding together to come down and rescue Vercingetorix. So he built a wall around the wall. He made a donut fort. And what he did was he had choke points. He had choke points. You couldn't get in there unless you got through these choke points. And those choke points, a lesser force can easily defend against a choke point. They didn't have to worry about the city because the city was already dying. But that's you see where I'm going with this, man. That's why I'm proud of my heritage, man. See, we were some bad motherfuckers over there in Europe. The tribes that I come from, the Germanic tribes that I come from, and the Celtic and the Irish tribes that I come from, the Celtic Irish tribes that I come from. They're some bad motherfuckers. The Vikings, hell yeah, man. They were going upriver in Europe, man. They didn't come at you. They didn't know. I don't know. They came at you from the fucking ocean and the sea. They came up your rivers, man. You were landlocked. You weren't safe, man. They'd come straight up your river and raid your house, man. You could be a landlocked city, and they would float right up to the river on those longboats, man. And there goes your city. And they didn't leave nothing alive. They took slaves and raised the city. I'm proud of that heritage, not that part of the heritage, but I'm proud of that type of you know upbringing, that type of mental acuity that comes from being from a warrior tribes. And with the Native American Cherokees was some badass motherfuckers, dude. Why do you think they ran them over to Oklahoma from North Carolina? They were causing all kinds of problems in North Carolina, so they ran them out. They ran them out. They put them in Oklahoma, man. They wanted to kill that tribe. Cherokee tribe was very powerful east of the Mississippi, man. Why do you think it's called the Cherokee Nation? Just like the Sioux Nation, and you don't hear very many tribes being called a nation. Okay, I'm proud of that heritage, man. I wouldn't have that heritage if I was living in Europe. I might have it on the Celtic basis and the Viking basis. And your generation wants to talk about slavery, man. Fucking who do you think built this fucking country, man? Oh, the slaves don't know, man. You had white slaves over here. You had fucking Chinese slaves over here. Where do you think Chinatown in in San Francisco came from, and New York, and Chicago? Those people lived in ghettos, man. Same with the Irish. Same with the Germans. Are you going up on top, Poppy? Go on. You can go up there. Go on. Go on. Good girl. Good girl. You want to go up on top? Are you gonna go up on top, sweetie? No, you just want to sniff around what's up there. Yeah, Daddy needs to clean up there. Are you gonna go up in your little spot up there, Poppy? Yeah, I know. Daddy needs to clean up. You can go on up. Go on. You can go up there, Poppy. Go on. Go on. You can go up there. You just gotta close the door when you jump down. She jumps down and opens my freezer door. Go on, Poppy. You can go up there. There's certain places I don't want her to go, like in closets and shit, because she got trapped in the closet one time, and I was looking for her for like an hour and a half. And all of a sudden, you go, I go in there, she's inside the clothes, inside the closet. You can go up there, Poppy. She's just checking things out. I'm happy that she's doing that because I really want to get her in that sink. What do you see over there, Poppy? What are you going after? Yeah, that's coffee. Yeah, you sniffing everything up there, huh? That's human stuff up there, Poppy. That's Daddy's countertop. That's Daddy's coffee. This cat's smart. Believe me, she is. She says hello. She calls my name. Hi. Hi. And I say hi. Hi. So like she'll get up there and someone comes to the door, she don't. Hi. Or we walk in the door. Hi. She'll literally say hi. Come on, you go up there, Poppy. Are you just getting another view for Poppy TV? Go on, sweetie. Go on. Go on. I'm gonna have to clear some of that stuff back. I wanted her to be able to go up on top there. Go on, sweetie. Go on. Go on. You can go up top. Oh, you got another. She's got another view for Poppy TV. That's her Poppy TV over there. She's watching Poppy TV. She's looking out the window. That's what's cool about having a big cat. I think a smaller cat be able to get up there, but she's big. Look at how big she is compared to another cat. Look how big she is, and she got about another year to grow. What do you see out there, girl? What do you see out there, big girl? Huh? You watching Poppy TV? Yeah. Oh, you're looking over here now. Huh? Someone at the door? Yeah, she's watching Poppy. I gotta keep an eye on her though. And she jumps, opens my freezer door. I got Poppy screaming there. Come on, Poppy, you can go up there. I wanted her to go up. She's sniffing everything up there. And I wanted her to go up there and relax. What I originally wanted to do was, seriously, I was gonna make this a kitty paradise. I was gonna get some stuff and find a way to hang it from the ceiling and put catwalks up there, so she can walk like from right here. I had a bridge. I was gonna put it above the door. Yeah, my right arm don't work too well. I was gonna put it above the door, and I was gonna go across the ceiling with catwalks, so she can get up on top of this. She can get up on top of this over. God darn it! Ah, she can get up on top of this over here. You know. Now she got another way up there, but I gotta keep. Go on, Poppy. You can go up there. Go on, sweetie. Go on. You can go up there. There you go. There you go. Now she's up on top. Now you can see how big she is. That's about a foot and a half from the top of the cabinet to the ceiling. Poppy, Poppydopolis. Watch her sit up. Sit down, Poppy. Sit. That a girl. That a girl. That a girl. Let me make sure she's not gonna fall. She usually lays in this. Uh, uh, she usually lays in this corner right here. I got the other side blocked up. I don't want her over the stove. She can go over the fridge, but I don't want her over the stove. She might be hunting freaking bugs too. Yeah, she's here she comes. You gonna get down? Are you gonna get down or are you gonna lay down up there? What are you gonna do? Daddy wants to know because if you're gonna jump, I want to be able to close that freezer. Are you gonna jump down? Or are you gonna kick back up there? She's just looking at me. She's just looking at me. You gonna jump down or you gonna kick back up there? Huh? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do? Silly. Are you being silly, Poppy? She'll wait until I stop looking at her. And she knows what the camera is. She sees herself in here and she looks at me like really. And she won't even attack her own reflection. Literally, man. When she was a kid and I bought her I was gonna teach her not to do it. Because I know cats and dogs have a propensity to attack their reflections or get riled when they see their reflection. But I took her in the bathroom, and when she was a little kitty, and I had a little more physical control over her. I took her in the bathroom and I put her on the sink, and I'm sitting behind her, and I'm looking at her in the mirror. I'm looking at her in the mirror, and she's looking at me in the mirror. And then she looks at herself in the mirror. Then she looks back at me with this look on her face, like, really? The same thing with the camera. She did the same thing with the camera. I got her to focus on her stuff over there. She looked at the camera. She looked at this. Literally, she looked at this. Then she looked down at this. Then she looked at me like, really? You trying to fool me? This cat's really fucking smart, man. Smarter. I've had cats before. This cat's really fucking smart. She gives me fist bumps. She give me a high. She give me she give me five. I say, give me some paw. I have to provoke her a little bit, but she's still stubborn like a cat. But are you gonna take a nap up there? It looks like she's getting ready to take a nap. She's preening. She might be getting ready to take a nap. But usually she sleeps right here. She'll sleep right here, or in her little hammock over there, or she'll curl up right here. You've seen her before. She curls up right there. Sometimes she gets in here. Sometimes she gets in here, and she used to get inside this crate over here. I mean, literally, I had clothes in that crate, and when she was a kid, she went up there and pulled them out, and she went up there and went to sleep. So I said, okay, because I gave her when she came in here, she got this, and she got the top shelf. I gave her this shelf so she can get to my bed, and I gave her the top shelf. And then if you see back here, I put a bunch of series of boxes over there, so she can have little high heels back there. She used to go behind the couch, man. She's too big to fit back there anymore. And besides, I got to clean back there. I got to really sweep and mop. It's disgusting back there. But this is like a 700-pound couch or a 500-pound couch, and it's hard to move when you're in a wheelchair. If I was on 2 feet, this place would be immaculate. We're close to it. Anyway, going back to my original point, you guys need to listen to us, man. We're not here to destroy our own species here. And we want to preserve the species, man. You know, go back into the '60s and look at all this stuff, and then look at it now. Okay, don't listen to these fuckheads in college and shit. Don't listen to professors because they're all morons right now. Are you gonna sleep over there, sweetie? Oh, she's above the stove. Are you gonna sleep over? Yeah, you gonna sleep over there? Go ahead, you can sleep over. She said yes. Go ahead and sleep over there. You gonna sleep up there? You can sleep up there. Are you just checking it out? You can take a nap. Yeah, you don't care. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. I'm gonna get it on camera. Here she comes. Come on, Poppy. Are you coming down? Come on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, Daddy got to clean that up so you can get by. Come on, you can get down. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Come on, sweetie. Come on. Hey. Hey, silly. Poppy. Come on, sweetie. You can get down. Poppy, you know you can get down. You've gotten down from there before. I want you to either get. There you go. There you go. You want treats? You want treats? Come get some treats. You want treats? I just changed your water and I cleaned your poopy box. You can't go outside. You can't go outside. I don't want you out there. There's too many fucking idiots in this building. I got a few people in here that probably in the background don't like me. They might smile and shit in my face, but when I get around them, I just got the feeling like they don't like me or they just like they got some weird perspective on me or some shit. Okay, Poppy, come on for treats. Sit down. Come on, sit down, Poppy. Sit down. Come on, sit down. Hang on. You go say hi? You go say hi, Poppy? Come on, say hi. How you doing, man? Come on, say hi, Poppy. Come on. Come on, you silly cat. Come on. Come on. Come and say hi. Don't be rude. So stand over. Sit down there. Yeah. No, she can hurt you. She can hurt you. Come on, man. You can look. Come on, dude. You can look. Don't be afraid. Come on. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Come on. See, look. Hi, Judy. Yes, Poppy. Poppy. Come here, Poppy. Come say hi. Come say hi. Don't be rude. Nice. Come say hi. It's okay, Poppy. Come on. See? See? There you go. There you go. Yeah. He knows. He knows. Love is yeah. You can't have you outside now, Poppy. All right. That's it. All right, guys. All right, you Captain America? No. It's Captain America. You like Captain America? Yeah. That was my favorite growing up. That's why I joined the Marines. Oh, yeah. Yep. Captain America should have been a Marine. Yeah. The Army was just big back then. So, and you know what? The guy that created Captain America stormed the beaches in Norway. Oh, yeah. Jack Kirby? Yeah. Yep. All right, you have a good one. You too. Bye-bye. You two guys have a good day. You want this? Yeah, I'll get it. You can go get it. What kind of old far food we got now? Can't call this old far food. Meals on wheels. Come on, Poppy, you want treats? Come and get treats. Come on. Well, come and get treats, you silly cat. Okay, stay back there. Poppy don't want treats. Poppy don't want treats. Let's see what kind of. Oh God, I hate when they tie this shit like this. I tie it a little bit looser. I might be able to stomach the biscuit. Come on, Poppy. You want treats? Come on. Come on, sweetie. Come on. We'll come and get some treats. All right. Be that way. Nobody wants to see your funny butt anyways. Nobody wants to see you anyways, Poppy. Hey, you want treats? Come on, sweetie. Come on. Come on. See, I see. You want treats? Come on, sweetie. Come on and get treats. Yeah, they're not out there anymore, Poppy. Come on. They're not out there anymore. Come on. Come on. Come on. Well, come on. All right. Okay. There she is. There's my girl. There's my gift from God. Yes, I said God. Oh no, I said God. I can take right back to Freudian Jungian psychology on that one. It's documented that psychology, part of the psyche is built on spirituality. I don't eat too many sandwiches, but I'll eat the cooked food. I'll eat the cooked food. Come on, Poppy, go on. Yeah, just to see, this is Meals on Wheels. This is what Meals on Wheels looks like. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna eat the. I'll eat a little bit of the paste or the. I'll eat the biscuit and a little bit of the meat. You know, it's. I don't put down the program as a whole. But I think I think a lot of these programs really need to be heavily looked at. I'm not saying it shouldn't exist. I mean, they need to be investigated or looked into. I drink a lot of juice, specifically apple juice. I pick up orange juice or grape juice once in a while when the apple juice is out, but specifically apple juice. Just got a thing for apple juice. Always liked apples since I was a kid. One of my dad's houses, they had a crab apple tree, a peach tree, and a regular apple tree. I think we had grapes in the back, but my dad didn't know how to take care of the garden, so the only thing that really grew were the trees, and he tore the. He let the bush. He left grape the grape scaffolding up, and I think he planted ivy or something back there. I don't exactly remember. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna eat in front of you guys. I don't care. Nobody watches this anyway, so doesn't matter to me. I'm just on here for a little bit until something else goes on the other channels and stuff like Rumble Bumble. Rumble Bumble usually has some good stuff. Yeah, I don't see the Rumble Bumble up yet. So I gotta go change your water too, but I gotta eat something first. Anyway, oh god, this is usually what they're making is the food itself, the type of food, the like I think this is like chicken a la king or some kind of biscuits and gravy with chicken, but you know it's good food. There's a lot of starch, and sometimes it's dry as fuck. But going back to my soliloquy, Gen Z, listen to us, man. Don't let these idiots at the top that want to manipulate you and control you with your emotions and your identities and all this stuff. Those are the ones that want you to do you harm. They don't give a rat's filthy posterior about you. This is a means to an, you're just a means to an end. And the end goal of the establishment is control. Doesn't matter what ideology you want to put on it, communism, socialism, fascism, um, theocracy. You know, it's all the same goal. The end goal is the same: control of society by the establishment. And like I said, it's the same establishment we were fighting in the '60s that had us in Jim Crow. Same one. I mean, the parallels are all there. Divide and conquer. I mean, you heard what I said to that kid out there that had the mentally handicapped handing out these meals on wheels. That's why I brought him to the door. I made my cat come say hi to her, and she listens. She listens. She don't like to be rude. I don't want her to be rude. I want her to be able to be friendly with everybody, unless I need her. Unless I need some guarding. Right, Poppy? Huh? You gonna be my guard cat? I always tell people, man, I'd rather have a pit bull on my forearm than 20 pounds of cat on my face or on my leg or anywhere, man. That cat gets on you, man. You ain't gonna get her off. It's not gonna be easy to get her off. You can swipe, and the more you swipe, the more she's gonna dig them claws in. Believe me, I played with her. I got the scars to prove it. Even playfully, I'm trying to teach you the difference between play and not play. And then I can teach you how to fight a human. Believe me, that cat's gonna grow. She's gonna be another. Within the next year, she's gonna add at least 2 or 3 pounds and some size. That's why one of the reasons I got that kind of cat. What are you looking at? What's out there? More Poppy TV? Huh? You know how you can tell when an apartment's a ghetto? When they don't clean the fucking windows on the outside. These guys are so cheap they can't even afford to fucking get a window spreader up in here. When I say cheap, I mean it because they're making enough money to do this shit. Well, leave me there. As being all sucked up in administrative costs. I want to get into those administrative costs. If I was running the place, I'd streamline it real quick. Real fucking quick. So many people at the top would be sitting on the fucking unemployment line. Oh, that's why I put this up. I'm not lying either. I'd restructure the whole fucking system. I'm already bouncing my head into these fuckers right now. I'm not adverse to put myself in a fire once in a while for a good cause. One thing my generation got over Gen Z, we're willing to sacrifice for a greater good. Okay? Even if it means self-improvement. You can't go through life thinking that everybody owes you something. If you do, there's something wrong with you. I don't sugarcoat shit. I'm from Chicago, man. And I don't expect, if you're going to not sugarcoat stuff with me, I'm going to accept it if it's true. I'm going to accept it and say, okay, how can I change? How can I better myself? Proper society. Not how society can better themselves to profit you. Don't work that way. I always tell the same thing to these woke idiots. You wake up, look in the mirror, and get offended, and then walk outside and take it out on everybody else. No, I'm gonna have a good into this stuff. Normally, I don't eat it. Damn peas and carrots are really under fucking done. Okay. What do you want to know? You want to play? Poppy, want to play? You want to play? Come on out here. Come on. You want to play? Okay, let's see. Go to sleep. Oh, that was filling. That was filling. Excuse me. Excuse me again. In Germany, burping in a restaurant is a compliment. Look it up. My cousin was over there. My cousin made enough money early on to where he visited Germany and Ireland because that's what his heritage was, German and Irish. Native American, he lives in America. And Irish to the max, too, because his dad was full-blooded Irish. First generation. His grandparents on his dad's side spoke Gaelic. and my grandmother understood them. So that's how deep my Irish roots go. My grandmother was first generation, and my aunts, two of my aunts married to two first generation Irish men. And like I said, Gen Z, you need to listen, man. What, Poppy? Oh, she's eating more. Yeah, I didn't know at the time, and I bought her metal bowls and water. I didn't think, you know, that cats scratch when they drink. Dogs do sometimes too, but mostly cats. She's scratching a bowl right now. She's scratching the metal and building off all that static electricity. Her whiskers hit the side. She's a little jolt. Didn't know she used to do it a lot when she was a kid, but I know they're used to feel around, and I know, but I mean, a cat in the wild, those whiskers aren't going to be as sensitive as they are in a house. So whiskers on a cat in the wild is not going to be as sensitive as they are in the house, because in the house they're pretty much guarded from a lot of stuff, more so than in the wild. Running through bushes, and they're going to get a little desensitized, and then the cat's awareness will take over, and it's muscle memory. Yeah, tobacco's a bitch, especially fucking all the chemicals they got in it nowadays. Anyway, man, Gen Z, you need to listen to the boomers and the extras, man. And I'm saying this because the millennials, we dropped the ball with them guys, man. We did. We became the helicopter parents of some of these generations, man. You know, the old heavy hippie mentality, man. Peace and love, and yeah, okay, I love you too, man. But in order to love you, I got to tell you the truth. It might hurt your feelings a bit. Shit. My dad always told me the truth always hurts. It always hurts. Always hurts. The truth always hurts. Because you're believing something so deeply that it takes over your life, and it's not really good for your life, like drugs and alcohol. Someone telling an alcoholic the truth when they're in the middle of their addiction, you might get punched in the face. You know, the cognitive dissonance kicked in. The first part of cognitive dissonance is anger because it's true. It's aggression. That's why when I watch these neo libs up there, they get up there with regular people. And I say regular people, man, because I'm a liberal and I'll call your ass out on this shit too. It's silly some of the shit you guys got going on. More than silly, it's totally degenerate, man. And I'll speak with my secular voice on that, man. That's degenerate, man. And you don't even need God involved to understand that some of the things you're doing are wrong. You know, some of the things you're promoting are full of shit, man. and ain't doing nothing for your life. Because all you wokies are starting to find out, hey, life don't revolve around you. You put your I type, I had a lady put her pronouns in my. I just told her straight back, hey, okay, Miss She Her. You're just gonna be an identity. You're not gonna be a human being. I told her, you guys are disconnected from the fucking tenants. You are totally disconnected from the tenants because you want to keep your fucking paychecks. I didn't see her on the list of the people that is getting paid $100,000 a year either, and the $5,000 bonuses they're getting for whatever the fuck reason. Why? Because they color their skin, or their sexual identity, or some a combination thereof, or they're what they got hanging between their legs or not hanging between their legs. Your generation is pushing this shit, dude. You don't even understand it. You're just destroying the species. You're destroying. Oh, human beings are ruining the. No, dude, we ain't ruining the planet. We're ruining ourselves. George Carlin told you a long time ago, man. You just get tired of the human beings, shake us off like a fucking bunch of fleas, man. You don't think this planet will fucking. You guys are pushing this garbage, man. Oh, we got a lower carbon. We're fucking made of carbon, man. This whole planet's made of fucking carbon. We're not silicon beings, man. But we got lower CO2. The fucking plants breathe CO2 and exhale oxygen. Where do you think our oxygen's going, man? Global warming? No, it's called climate change. It's called a fucking season, you idiot. Go to Alaska. Go to Chicago and tell me there aren't four seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. I've experienced them all my fucking life. My girlfriend lives in the Philippines and she has four seasons over there: winter, spring, summer, fall. They each have their different. They each have their different aspects of them. Winter, plants die. Spring, they come back to life. Summer, they grow. Winter, the plants that die either go into hibernation or they become fodder for new plants. It's when you try to disrupt nature's cycle that you fuck up nature's cycle. Instead of worrying about the CO2 levels, why don't we plant more fucking trees? Plant more trees. Why do you think hippies were called tree huggers, man? Because we're trying to save the fucking environment, man. We're trying to save the ecological systems, man, which keep us alive. It's a symbiotic process, man. We rely on the world, the nature. Nature relies on us. We have the ability to harness nature. What we're doing is we're destroying nature. We're cutting down trees like never before. What about drilling for oil? Now, fuck that drilling for oil shit, man. Damn, there's so many ecological restrictions on drilling for oil. You know, if they fart the wrong way, they're going to get a fucking hefty fine. Seriously, man. Trump didn't really. Trump didn't take those. Oh, he mentioned Trump. Ah, Trump didn't. Trump didn't. Deregulate that shit. He deregulated the regulations that were regulations for the regulations of the regulations that were in place. He deregulating the fucking businesses out of business now, man. Small businesses can't afford all these regulations. The big businesses can, and they don't follow them anyways. They don't. The only regulations they follow are the ones that keep the pollution out of the air and out of the water. That's the only big. All the other regulations are regulations piled on top of those regulations to collect money. Trump streamlined all that shit. He got rid of the pork. And actually, the economy ran a hell of a lot better, man. Man, when he was here, when I first got my cat 3.5 years ago, what was that, 2020, 2021? I mean, a lot of Trump's policies are still running a little bit, and I'd rather smoke. I'd rather shop at a mom and pop than I'd rather even online. If I order online, I'd rather order online from a mom and pop than order from Amazon. Because Amazon got enough money; they don't need mine. That's the way we got to start thinking, man. These big corporations, they got enough of our money, man, and they're exploiting it now. They're price gouging it. You don't think they're price gouging are fucking crazy, man? They're doing it on top of inflation and blaming inflation for their increase in prices. It's called crony capitalism, man. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Gen Z. You need to hear these words. It ain't about socialism and capitalism. No, it's about crony capitalism. Capitalism is a good system, man. Merit-based system. If you ain't got the moxie, you ain't going forward. Okay, unless something physically, like myself, something physically happened to me, stop me dead in my fucking tracks until I can get over it, you know. No, you're always talking about yourself. Yes, 'cause who else am I gonna fucking talk about? I talk about me and my cat. You know, I might talk about other people's problems, but I don't make a big deal about it because my problems are my problems, and I need to take care of those. Take care of someone else's problems. I can't take care of someone else if I don't take care of myself. She's gone. She's over there. I don't have the heat on because it's starting to get warm. She usually sits by there because the heater over there. She's got warm places to sleep. I don't. She's got all these. She can go sleep on my bed if she wants. I mean, I had to kind of when she was a little kid, I had to deter her from actually laying on me because she's like, when she gets bigger than this, when she starts going into heat and starts getting affectionate, she'll actually sleep with me. And she's so big, she'll lay across my arm. And I might have to move my arm because I'm losing fucking circulation. But she's pretty big, man. She's a good 10, 15, 10 and a half. I say she's between 12 and 13 right now, maybe pushing 14. And she's just starting to bulk up a little bit, I think. You know, and I spoil her. She is treated. She is played with. She gets attention. Poppy, don't you chew. Hey, hey. She's chewing the fucking fur off her tail. Stop chewing. Don't care if you lick it. Don't chew. Don't chew. I gotta stop her from doing that because I do brush her. I brush her at least once a month. Really good for like 2 or 3 days. She gets good fucking brush on. When she's in heat, I just spent like 2 days brushing her down really good. I mean, because when she first got here, I had to break certain habits that she had. I can't have her in my lap because I don't have a fucking lap to keep her on, and I can't have her jumping up behind me on this wheelchair. Okay, because she digs her claws in me. I mean, if I was standing up, it'd be a bit different because I can move and she'd jump off, but I can't move in this chair. She gets on top of my backpack. Number one, I don't want her falling inside because it's really hard for me to turn around and reach her. And number two, I don't need her claws in my back. I'm on blood thinners. I can't have those claws piercing my skin, man. I got an infection in my leg one time because she scratched. And I keep my floor pretty clean, man. I sweep it every day almost. Every couple of days it gets swept. Every week or so it gets a good mop. I mean, even during the week I might wet mop it. But every about every week it gets sprayed down and mopped to get stains about and all this other crap. And I can't move anything around here to get underneath there. So there's all kinds of dust, fucking dinosaurs, and everything else in here. And those attract mites. And believe me, I've looked at where she bites on her tail, and I see some little bit of discoloration where she chewed into her flesh, and I stopped her. I stopped her from chewing into her flesh. She started doing it on her back end, and I would just push her head away. Don't chew. And when she starts licking, I pet her. And when she starts chewing again, I push her head away. Don't chew. So she knows the difference. That's why I made her stop doing it right now, because she'll sit there and chew like a kid bites his nails. And I grew up in a nail biter, so I know what it is. I used to bite my nails until they bled. So you see, cats pick up the aspect of the owner, animals pick up the aspects of the owner, and she's got my aspects. And I'm not being mean by not putting her in my lap, but she's too big. I knew she was going to get big. Now, if I was sitting on the couch or like on the bed, she can lay on top of me. She literally puts her paws right here, and her face is in my face like this, and then she turns around, and her ass is in my face, which is a sign of affection. And then she'll turn around and she'll go sit at the end of the bed. And I say, "Come on, come on," and she'll come back up there, and I'll start petting the back of her head. She'll lay right on this arm, and this arm will start to fall asleep, and I have to move her, get off my. See, I can't have that if something happens and she's on top of me and I can't get her off and I'm having a heart attack or something. I got to move her so I can get up and move around. So that's what I do when I have a heart attack. I try to move around. I sat here with angina for a whole fucking day. Literally, my heart was fucking aching. Literally, I knew I was having a fucking heart attack. So what I did was I jumped in the shower and I switched hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, and stretched my body out. And then I learned that coughing, if you start having a like angina, a good cough usually clear it up a little bit. And plus, I got nitro in here in case it gets too far and I have to take nitro and call the ambulance. That's the last resort because nitro's probably expired by now. Anyway, go back to my diatribe. Um, you need to listen to us, guys. We don't hate you. We hate the bullshit you're pulling. I mean, I'm like this, man. I'm a live and let live kind of guy, man. Having a live and let live attitude until your attitude tries to live in my fucking house. Until it tries to live in my house. I don't, whatever you want to do behind closed doors is your business, man. I don't need to know about it. Matter of fact, we'd probably get along better if I did. Then I'd treat you like the person that I see you as instead of the identity you're wearing on your fucking sleeve. We had a saying in the old days called "Don't wear your emotions on your sleeve." In other words, don't show everybody how you feel inside, man. Unless it's really a close confidant, man. Family, best friend, wife, husband, significant other, your cat, okay, your dog. I share my feelings with her all the time. I've cried in front of that cat, and she's usually right in my face. Daddy, what's wrong? Not always. Sometimes she's just looking at me like, "What the fuck are you crying about, man?" Every time I look at her, I go, "I don't know." You're crazy. Yeah, crazy like a fox. Crazy like a fox. I mean, when you got a generation where you got kids living at home until they're in their fucking 20s, oh, we can't move out because it's too expensive. We'll get a fucking roommate, man. Get some of your best. Oh, you don't got any best friends because you're online all the time. Yeah, it's straight up it, man. You don't have a social circle, man. Your social circle's right here. Your social circle's right here. How you gonna have your best friend 2,000 miles away move in with you unless you split this distance and move someplace out of your family's house? I even seen a Gen Z. Oh, they're so expensive. Well, get a fucking roommate, man, or turn around and turn around and make changes in the fucking society that you live in, so you don't need a fucking roommate. Start pointing the finger up. Start pointing that finger at the people at the top that are pissing on you and calling it rain, man. I learned that shit when I was homeless, man. Big time. I always kind of knew it, but when I became homeless, I knew who was pissing on me. I knew who was pissing on me. And it wasn't the good people in my life, it was the fucking system. The system perpetuates itself by creating chaos in society instead of cleaning up the chaos, and then that system would no longer exist. So you create another system to help the people that were under that system, and eventually you just move off into other aspects of society to work with people. I mean, elderly people need a lot of fucking help, man. I'm one. I'm one of the more fucking. I'm one of the more mobile homeless people. I'm one of the more mobile older people, man. If I was on 2 feet, I'd look like 10 years younger than 65. I'd look like I'm in my 50s. Literally, I know I would. I'd probably cut my hair down, shave my beard, keep my body in shape. I got a six pack at 65, man. Yeah, I flex and there's a six pack. Definition you could see. I got guns on me too. If I work out and the muscle memory pops back up, I had 14-inch arms at one time, man. 13-inch forearms, 22-inch thighs, and 21-inch fucking calves, and a 30-inch waist, and a 52-inch chest. Or 46, it was 47. I'm about the same chest wise. I'm about the same dimensions as my dad. My dad was a 47, and he was 5'11", to 190. I'm 5'8", about 135, 155 of my top weight, and I was like 2 or 3% body fat. So there's a lot of muscle underneath me. There's a lot of muscle underneath this little fat I got on me. I kept myself that way. It's not because I wanted to try. I didn't want to. I wanted to look good for myself, man. I wanted to look in the mirror and go, "Oh, yeah, I got some guns. Oh, look at that chest. Oh, if I hit you, you're gonna fucking feel it." I wanted that for myself, not for anyone else. For myself. Okay. You don't keep yourself in shape, your brain's gonna go. Your mind's gonna go. Your body and mind are connected like this. You fuck up, you get a bad fucking mentality, your body's gonna go. You get a bad body, your mentality is gonna go. It's a symbiotic relationship. And you can't sit around and play video games all day long and think and expect to think clearly, man. I don't care how you fucking slice that bread, man. You got to go out and interact with people in real life. That's why I can do when I'm in chat rooms, I can tell the people that are veterans and the people that play Call of Duty and think they're fucking veterans. I get a lot of idiots. What? Really? you know, I mean, you're easy to spot online, man. I could tell the age of somebody just by talking to them in a chat room, just by the terminology they use and their attitude when you throw something at them. Gen Z, you're too fucking sensitive, man. You wear your buttons all over the place, man. I got my buttons hidden. Some of them are dead. The buttons I used to have, they're dead, man. I didn't even concern me anymore. Like my looks, I don't give a fuck how I look. It's what's up here and what's in here that counts, man. And I try to be the best in both sides of that, man. Best I can be. I'm not perfect. Make mistakes. Yeah, I'm even an asshole sometimes, but I'm an equal opportunity asshole. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna give you a ration of shit if you deserve it. That's the way I was brought up. You guys are too sensitive. You have no social skills at all. At all, man. At all. Some of you need to get punched in the fucking face once or twice. Really, you do. I mean, I'm not advocating violence at all. I consider a punch in the nose a spanking, man. I don't mean to say a punch in the nose, man. That's what we did, you know. We tell you, we're gonna punch you in the nose, man. And believe me, I've punched people in the nose before, man. You know, someone gets silly. One time, someone, me and my ex-wife went to we lived in Long Beach, and we went to the naval. We went to the. She got me in to the Navy Club over there. And my wife's like 8 months pregnant, man. She's like her belly's out to like here. She's 5'9", and she's about 130. She's about 120, 25 pounds. I mean, she was model rail. She was a model. She actually went to Brooks College in Long Beach for modeling, runway modeling. But she's out. She's like a fucking balloon, man. And this Navy guy kept coming up to the fucking thing, asking her to dance. And the guy came up and he put a song on for him and her to dance with. And I went out to dance floor with my wife. And I danced to the song and looked him in the eyes. I said, "Look, really, motherfucker?" I just let her like, "Really, motherfucker? Good." This is my woman at the time. So last time he came up to the fucking table, I had my hand hooked in the beer in the beer pitcher, and I was pouring myself a beer. And he said something, wham! I put that fucker right in his face, man. We got kicked out of the club, but I busted that guy's face open, man. And I told the MPs, "You need to take care of your boy here." I said, "I'm a Marine Corps veteran, man. I was in the Marine Corps, man. This guy's insulting my wife." "Oh, okay, dude. We just go later." "Yeah, okay. I'm not coming back here." We just go hang out in the other clubs in town. You know, I mean, half you men wouldn't even do that. You'd rather kiss the girl's ass. And I'm not talking about it in a fun way. You're so insecure, you need an identity to hide behind. That's what identity politics is, man. You're hiding behind an identity. You're afraid to show your true self to the world. This is my true self. Yeah, okay. All right, man. All right. If your true self is dressing up like a fucking clown, my true self is gonna laugh at you because you're phony, you're fake, you're wearing an ideology instead of wearing your personality. This is my personality. No, it's not. It's an aspect of your personality. I'm not saying it's not part of your personality, but it's not all of your personality. It's an aspect of your personality. So you tell woke people, man. You wake up, look in the mirror, you get offended, and then you walk outside the door and you take it out on the fucking world. You're offended by yourself, and you go outside of the world and you projected offense on everybody else. "I don't like the way that man looks. He's looking at me funny. Well, that guy's creepy." Or do you look in the mirror and think of yourself as creepy? You know? I mean, seriously, man, that's the way I see a lot of this shit, man. You're so busy focusing on the mirror of your personality. I mean, you're walking around. It's like you're walking around inside of a fucking bubble of mirrors, and that's all you see is yourself, man. You don't see the world at large. You see that mirror of yourself, and then you project that out onto the world in a negative way because you're offended by what you see in your own mirror. Man, I hope anybody that watches this and Gen Z takes this shit to heart, man. Because the millennials and the boomers are fed up with your ass, man. You're about ready to get a spanking. And it's gonna be fun when we come to the streets and start spanking you guys, man. And it probably won't be physical, but you're gonna see the numbers, and that's gonna be the spanking. You're gonna be bowed down by the numbers of us that are fed up with the shit, man. And believe me, Gen Z and Boomers equal each other, but we got fucking Gen X. I mean, we got Gen X. We got some of the millennials on our side. And you guys are outnumbered like 20 to 1 or 100 million to 1 here, and throughout the world, let's say about 1 million to 1. You come to the streets, you're already seeing it. You're already seeing it, and it's going to get worse and worse by the time before this election comes up. You're going to see a lot of more boomers and millennial, the people that are fed up with your bullshit. We're going to be out there too, and then you ain't going to be able to rat pack people because we'll rat pack you. They ain't no lie either. Anyway, peace out. Love you guys. Simplify. End stream. End.